Jey Uso with the entrance of all entrances coming into the arena. And I mean, Michael Cole, he threw out everything here. He even defined what yeet means in the Webster's dictionary. And then it's just Jey just soaking all of this in. And with the comparison that comes to mind for this segment after we just spoke about him was Hulk Hogan in Montreal after WrestleMania in 2002. This crowd was just so nuts for Jey Uso. Jey was taken aback. I seriously think this was like the defining segment, I think, of Jey Uso as like a singles star. I just thought these first 15 minutes were like, this guy just felt so red hot from this segment. Like he feels like the guy going into WrestleMania.
100%. Yeah. And I see a moment like this and I think back to Saturday and how unexpected Jey Uso as a winner was. And I continue to admire the decision to put him in this spot, because if it was a CM Punk, if it was like, John Cena winning, you would have had a great reaction tonight, but I don't think it would have meant as much to the in the grand scheme of somebody's career as this particular moment did for Jey Uso.
Neither is a bigger star with a Royal Rumble win. Like it's a big pop, it's a big match for either of them to have won this. For Jey Uso, before Royal Rumble and after Royal Rumble, he has jumped so significantly from this. And
completely.
Obviously the key is like the next 2 months as well.
Absolutely.
There's more of like gain and also risk as well. Like this is,
True.
It's not like you just snap your fingers, but I mean, this segment felt as though this guy just felt like such a gigantic star. This was something else. He was just like, you could see, like he was genuinely just speechless here. And it almost had this like awkwardness feel to it that like it just endeared himself that much more to the audience. And he's crying in the middle, just thanking the people for this. And they're, as he's like collecting himself, they continue chanting for him. They give him a standing ovation. Like this just went on and on, just celebrating this guy. And he's finally got the words out about doing this for 15 years just to make a good living. Then I joined my cousins throughout the pandemic. I wasn't confident in myself as a single star. I didn't have it, but coming out tonight, I've got it now. Just a great line. And he just said how hard he worked to get here because of the fans. And he's breaking down, crying here, thanking the people. And I'm going to WrestleMania and it's just me, Oos. This was an amazing segment.
I thought it was a beautiful promo. And when you're reading the transcript of this promo, I don't think he would have ever said that. But when you're watching it, it's all about the feel of this moment. Yeah. Jey, I think, is such a unique choice for this role as a Royal Rumble winner, because I think we expect our top level guys who win the Rumble to kind of be like perfect in every department, whether it be in ring or as a promo, somebody who can talk like more of a classic professional wrestling style promo. Jey isn't really that at all. He's certainly not The Rock, and he's not Roman. He's not even a John Cena. This was not at all a classically smooth promo. It was full of stutters, but every stutter is sort of what made the promo perfect, like
it was genuine. It felt real.
In this age of like polish and perfection, and just like AI generated this and that, it's imperfections like what you heard in this promo that separate us from machines. And this was sort of the promo that just felt incredibly human and perfectly imperfect, very relatable in terms of emotion. And I thought the substance in his words kind of worked both in character and out of character. Thank you. You helped me get here. You motivated me to work hard, but the subtext is also you cheered for me, bought my merch, and proved to the office that I was worthy for them to book me into this position. So I thought it worked really on all fronts.
So this first like 10 minutes or so, it's excellent. And then Gunther interrupts and he comes down. He said he would congratulate Jey, but I'd be disappointed because if you chose me, this match just does not appeal to me. Everyone knows you can't lace my boots. I, as world champion, have learned box office. I've learned how to make them all believe that I'm barely holding on to this belt when in reality, I'm always in control. all that selling at the end of Saturday night's main event, pure theater. I was full of shit. And he says, I refuse to do this again with you, Jey. I won't allow it. Beating you at WrestleMania adds nothing to my legacy. Beating Cena, beating Roman, or Punk, that would add something. But if you choose me, every week will be hell until WrestleMania. And at Mania, it will be the most horrible demonstration of violence that this business has ever seen. I will hurt you, Jey. I will put you down like a diseased dog. And I advise you to consider the other option.
Awesome.
I was so ready for this match by the end. I mean, anyone that is like coming out, and granted, there was definitely debate on going with Jey, or you just did this match. I think you and I were much more high on all of this on Saturday when we spoke. I was even that much more on board with this. And again, this is the argument I've made so many times with New Japan is they so desperately need that star. And sometimes you just have to, it just takes the ambition to just, this is our guy. We're going with him. And Jey, they're going with this guy. And I really like that type of booking.
With the caveat that it does need to be the right guy that the crowd is wanting. I mean, you can argue they went with Shota Umino to a certain extent by putting him in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, but that one didn't work as well as this. I mean,
and most of all, like, what was one of the most overstated narratives during the Attitude Era was that it's when you're a super hot company, that's when you need to be building new stars, because it's going to be that much tougher when things are cold. And there will be a time that WWE will not be at this peak level. And they are aggressively going with a Jey Uso. And I think you come out of this segment and the thought of, well, is this just going to be in the middle of the card at Mania? Like, this needs to be one of the top matches at Mania. Like, maybe it's not closing night 2, but it might need to close night 1.
Yeah, well, the man's name is Main Event Jey Uso. I feel like he needs to cement that by actually being in the main event WrestleMania, right? But we'll see. Again, what gets people through the door and what ends the night can be two very different things. And they have the luxury of like having this stacked roster with like a number of top billing matches, if you want to call them that they can use to get people through the door. But I think ending the night with this will give you long-term sort of value in a Jey Uso, for instance. I'm confident after seeing this segment that I think they're going to treat this program with care and skill in storytelling to get us to feel like the point where it's a worthy last match on the night. Like, they've attached so much great luster to Jey Uso through this Rumble win. And I think the way that they framed Gunther being as livid as he is, that he has to face this guy who's so beneath him on the card, a guy that he's already beaten, a guy who doesn't have the star power level of a John Cena or a CM Punk. I think it's a great way to frame it because it's the perfect sort of underdog story of Jey Uso encapsulated in this feud. He's somebody who's already lost, okay? He's a tag team wrestler who doesn't have near the star power of the names that were mentioned. It's all of this, but he's out there to prove that he can be that guy. He can achieve that role. So I think the bones of this are making for an excellent David Goliath story with, I think, one of the best Davids like the WWE has had in years. So I'm definitely on board with this. If you like this video, consider joining our Patreon, the Post Wrestling Cafe. Multiple bonus podcasts every week, ad-free shows, and access to our full archive. Otherwise, a like and subscribe is much appreciated. Thank you for watching.